Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent his messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness, by giving, will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 364th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Clement, and I'll be your host once again in this weekly continuous series of workshops. And once again, we have the honor of the presence of the members and support members of the Universal Council who are here to present today's workshop. So let me, without further ado, get that presentation ready. And we can begin.
Thank you, Rick, and welcome everyone to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race. This is Mark from the United States. Well, we're in a very large process, but it is being simplified where we can move or transmute the nations, perhaps 190 of them, into the understanding or so of a one nation planet. I could never imagine that before I came to the Keshe Foundation. But realize your thinking can change. I was always for sovereign nation states with borders and the rest of it that goes along with it. But in a way, I've transmuted into a higher order of understanding, I believe, as we are one family, even though we have different cultures and different customs in different parts of the world, we are just humanity. And so what this program, or what the Universal Council sees, is that we will, over time, using the technology that's put out by the Keshe Foundation, will make this an easier job to accomplish. It won't be a day job, as we've heard many, many times, but the technology that's being introduced, from an OASIS system to gas units to transmutation and others, is making a peaceful man out of the man, whether he realizes it or not. And as we heard, we're going to use the greed of the man, the free energy, the free water, the free gas, perhaps, to actually, mankind will create his own elevation of getting to the next step into joining with the universal community. So if this is your wish to see peace, as we just heard, it's part of the collective work of all of us. So we invite you to join us. And there's many different ways you can apply your emotions or your energies to make this process happen. But it's also finding out more about our own structure, which is very similar to the way the universe works. And it's a new understanding. And this is what we're bringing to mankind. And we're going step by step. But the Universal Council is the hormone, quote unquote, that'll interact with another council called the Earth Council. And then we will, in a way, the body would be humanity as we've understood. But I don't understand the full plan, even though it's written out. It has not been shared with me personally or as a group collectively. But there is a plan in place. And this is the year for that plan to start, or the beginning of it to start showing itself. And I think these technologies will improve greatly our understanding of ourselves, and to become peaceful, not to become arrogant, to be more detached from the matter state, even though we're mastering the matter state as well. I think there's an entirely huge universe in this energy dimension that we're just scratching the surface. So welcome. We're glad you joined us, and see where you fit in and how you can contribute to this process, whether it's purchasing things out of the store or giving from your soul during the 9 p.m. session, or perhaps conducting a teaching and sharing this knowledge with others. So there's many ways, but we're all growing in different speeds and strength into the knowledge, but it's a beautiful combination and a beautiful bouquet of humanity that's being created. And then we will be going into the stars. So thank you all again for joining us, and let's carry on with the program. Rick, unless someone else would like to add to the introduction, go right ahead. If not, we go to the next slide.
Next, we have the wishes, and I'd just like to let our audience know we'll have a full minute of silence after each wish for reflection and implementation of the wish. I think Shweta does the first one.
Yes, I, yes, the wishes, beautiful wishes. We, the Universal Council, give from our souls freely to elevate all souls and be part of the soul of the peace and totality. We, the Universal Council, give from our soul freely to elevate the soul of the leaders of to come to the path of peace and be part of the soul of the totality.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul collectively to elevate the soul of all beings to better the life of man on this planet and in universal community.
Thank you, my dearest. Thank you so, so much. All the love always. And here, the love of all, I will say. And this is to join the soul of man with the soul of physicality by speaking these words in this moment. I love you, my soul. I live you, and I love with you, and I adore you. See what the soul will give back to you, and the soul is giving back to me. Yes, there is no bridge again. You don't have to cross a bridge. We are always together. Just love me. Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear beautiful soul. Now we can move to the next presentation, my dear. Soul connection as part of the source, as part of the oneness, as part of the universal creator, universal unified field. We are always connected soulfully, always, sometimes recognizing, trusting, sometimes fully believing. So here is the soul connection, my dear beautiful soul. And I will do the soul connection in my language, Bangla, Bengali language. And it will be for 3 minutes. And of course, focusing on the breath is the main thing. And of course, I love you, my soul. Say it here. So the soul connection is here. And I will start in my language, Bengali, my mother tongue. আমি সবাইকে বলতে চাই আসসালামু আলাইকুম, নমস্কার, শাশ্বত প্রণাম, স্যালুট। আর সবাই প্রেমের প্রাণীরা, সবাই প্রেমের জীবাত্মারা, সবাইকে আমি আহ্বান করি নিজের শাশ্বত স্বরূপ, কালান্তরিক শাশ্বত স্বরূপকে আবার দেখুন, জানুন, মেহসুস করুন, আর আবার নিজের শ্বাসে প্রশ্বাস একবার নজর দিন, শ্বাস নিয়ে। কেন কি হাজার বছর ধরে আমরা কোথায় নিঃশ্বাসটাও ঠিক মতো নিতে পারিনি। তো নিঃশ্বাসটা নিন, হালকা করে নিঃশ্বাস নিন, আর ভাবুন যে আপনার প্রত্যেকটা নিঃশ্বাসে ইউনিভার্সাল ব্রহ্মাণ্ডের একটা আলো, সাদা আলো আপনার মধ্যে সবকিছু যেন ধুয়ে বার করে দিচ্ছে। আবার ওটা আপনি ব্রহ্মাণ্ডে ফেরত দিচ্ছেন, যাতে ব্রহ্মাণ্ড জানতে পারে যে আপনি আছেন সবার জন্য। তো আমি এই আমরা সবাই এই এই পজিশনে আসবো, এই পরিস্থিতিতে, এই এই স্থানে আসবো যেখানে শুধু ভালোবাসা আর শান্তি থাকবে। তো আমাদের নিঃশ্বাসটা আস্তে আস্তে করে নেবেন আর আস্তে আস্তে করে ছাড়বেন। আর ইউনিভার্সাল ব্রহ্মাণ্ডীয় ভালোবাসাকে মেহসুস করুন নিজের ভেতরে, আর সবাইকে এটা দিন, সবাইকে মেহসুস করুন। সবাই মেহসুস করবে আপনি যখন এটাকে মেহসুস করবেন। তো আমি এখন এটা আরম্ভ করলাম 3 মিনিটের জন্য। তো সোল কানেকশন এখন আরম্ভ হলো। সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ জানাই, শুকরিয়া জানাই। Thank you, beautiful souls, beautiful souls, for being here always with the love, peace, and abundance for all souls. Thank you for the solar connection. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rick, and thank you, Shweta. And yes, the process that we just completed is repeated every day at 9 p.m. And of course, you can extend that to give a little bit of your life. I remember there was a song, Give a Little Bit of Your Life to Me. And this is, in a way, what we're doing in elevating the others every day. It's the collective power of the soul that we're using, our energy dimension, which we're not fully familiar with and we're just discovering. Oh, sorry, it said my mic was muted, but it wasn't muted. Okay, so yes, you can take some of your life and use it as a responsible citizen of this planet to elevate the others in this dimension that most people are not aware of. Most things that happen to people in the dimension of energy are called a dream, are called a coincidence, or just some sort of happenstance that happened. But now we know we can actually create, and this is the way, through our collective awareness, that we're bringing the change. It's a collective giving. So at 9 p.m. every day, Central European time or Central European summertime, calculate your time, you can take a nanosecond. And it was interesting. I went to see my sister on Saturday, who was injured 50 years plus ago from an injection. And I went to visit her, and I'd been talking to a couple of the staff members about the technology. And of course, it's, again, beyond their imagination. But there was a new supervisor there, and he seemed to take to what I was telling him. And then I said, well, I didn't realize the time, but the supervisor said after it was just about 2:45, which is my time for giving. So I was explaining how we create the peace. And it was just tickled me when the supervisor said, well, you know, it's about 15 minutes before that time. And then when it got to that time, he called the staff together and he said, let's give from our soul to create the peace. I was tickled with that, even though some of my closest friends who I've explained the same process to say they don't understand and they're not doing it. So you never know who you're going to touch or who you may open up and who's ready for this technology. But again, this is the way we're bringing the peace through the energy, through the wish, which again, I always thought the wish was for a child. You had to get your hands dirty if you wanted to make anything happen. But this is the way we're going to bring the peace or create the peace. And we need a total collective of a higher amount of people, a bigger bouquet in a way that strengthens. And so this meeting at 9 p.m. is not a formal meeting as we're having here, but this is just getting together on the energy level. All the souls are connected, so we have that mother connection through the creator to reach whether it's your cat, your dog, a political leader, a religious leader, and touch them. That doesn't mean they're going to change in a day, but you're making the fields available for the soul to pick up that they will bring about a change in the physicality of that person. So that's what we're doing at this point in time. Doesn't cost anything. You can take a nanosecond to start with, and then you can expand it further and further. Of course, this is the second part of creating the dome of peace on the planet. The first part is something for your physicality to do, was just releasing dance waters collectively on Sunday at noon or 6 p.m. Central European time. So whatever way you'd like to create the peace dome, I think most people are looking forward to peace. They're wishing for peace. I know my nation has been involved in wars after wars after wars, but so has the whole planet. In the last 3,000 years on this planet, we've had 5,000 wars, plus or minus. And so we're moving into a new direction and a new dimension. And this is how we're bringing the change. And of course, as Mr. Keshe said, you work with the soul, you work with the energy level, and I'll work with the physicality or the plasma, let's say, in the matter state condition. And we can see how many systems are being provided for mankind. They're not aware of it yet, but in the very near future, perhaps in the next weeks or months, we will see international announcements. And gee, we did see something coming out of Africa about the electric car somebody has modified that continuously charges itself. Again, I don't know whether this is a reality, but I've heard of this inventor in one of the countries in Africa who's done some amazing things in the past. I don't know, we can't remember exactly what he's using, but this is the first time. And of course, they had a picture of Elon Musk looking at this guy in a way sort of counterposed to him, saying, "What are you doing? We charge our electric cars. There's no way." But this is what Mr. Keshe is saying. We're going to use the automotive and the greed of the man to actually bring about his own elevation. He said, we'll use the automotive side 100%. Greed of the man being, wow, I have free energy now. I can tank up with this perhaps gas in my car, and I can drive and drive and drive and drive, and I don't have to pull into the gas station. But releasing that gas, releasing those interactions between the vehicles will actually elevate the soul or touch the energies of the soul of humanity. So as they're driving, as they're very proud of having free energy, unknowingly or knowingly, they will be elevating the soul of humanity. And this is part of the whole process where the technology is hidden within something else. And Mr. Keshe says this is exactly his target, 100%. The automotive and some other methods of introducing or a way to bring about the elevation of the soul of this planet and its inhabitants. So join us on a daily basis if you can. Doesn't cost anything. You can be driving, you can be working. And then if you can handle a nanosecond, then extend it to perhaps a minute, and then extend it to different times in the day. And this is the way we will bring the change, not through banners, not through protesting, not through wars, that's for sure, and no other way. But the plan has been laid out. It's been laid out by the universal community for centuries, as I understand it, and now there's a more detailed plan, and Mr. Keshe is getting involved directly and delivering this plan. Whether it'll emerge in Africa, whether it'll emerge in the United States, all the nations are going to be involved, and there's going to be an equality across this planet that no one lives really any better than the others. And then we're going to move into the next step of interaction with the universal community. You know, the ones that they always had made fun of, that doesn't really exist unless it's in a comic book or a scientific movie. Well, as we know, the creator creates across every planet, across every galaxy. It's just many of them we can't see in the dimension that we're in. But this is what's coming forward. So join us, and you can feel happy that you're proud of yourself for taking the responsibility of moving humanity into a new direction, into a new dimension. So thank you all, and please join us.
Well, thank you, Mark. And our next slide has to do with the questions and answers with the Universal Council with Claudia and Marie. And today we have a new session to play back, which is from Saturday, the 1st of February. They have their sessions the first Saturday of every month. So we have a new one from last Saturday. And these sessions start at 9 p.m. Central European Time, so people know for next month. And in today's excerpt, we have the first question. And just let me get that teed up here. And that starts at the 38-minute mark. Or almost 39, actually, 38:56. And just make sure that's shared. Okay, we should be good there. And let's play. This is about a 3-minute excerpt. Bear with me, I'm having some trouble playing the video. Looks like I'll have to reload the video, so bear with me a minute here.
Yes, this doesn't seem unusual as of late. I've had a number of videos that I tested before, and when I go to play them, they just don't start. Rick has experienced that as well. But we work through it. Thank you, Rick, for your patience.
Thanks for that update, Mark. I was wondering if it's always just me or is it the world? Okay, let me try it once again here. Yeah, I think I got it to play. Okay, let me reshare and we'll try it again. Okay, here we go.
Maybe we should close that microphone. That's the...
Oh, yeah. Cris, eu acho que o seu microfone está aberto, Cris.
Okay. So the first question. Hello, members of the Universal Council. How can we not be afraid when we have no control? How to let the soul act?
Então, agora vamos para as perguntas e respostas dos membros do Conselho Universal. E a primeira pergunta é: olá, membros do Conselho Universal. Como podemos não ter medo quando não temos controle? Como deixar a alma agir?
And the first answer, you have to have trust in you and in the universe.
Primeira resposta é: você tem que ter confiança em si mesmo e no universo.
And there's another answer. With the knowledge of creation, you will know that trust is the key. If you trust your soul and let it lead you, everything will be to the benefit for you. But you have to let let go the control, and you have to live by the ethos of the universe, by thinking good, speaking good, and acting good. Trust is the key.
Segunda resposta é: com o conhecimento da criação, você saberá que a confiança é fundamental. Se você confiar em sua alma e deixar que ela o guie, tudo será para o seu benefício. Mas você deve abrir mão do controle e viver pelo ethos do universo, pensando bem, falando bem e fazendo bem. A confiança é a chave.
And there is another answer. Let's take an example. If you were born in a 100% natural environment and you don't know any techniques, someone takes you into a car and drive 100 miles an hour. Would you be afraid? Therefore, when you grew up and your father drove the car ever since, would you be afraid? Try, train, and step by step your fears will disappear.
Vamos pegar um exemplo. Se você nasceu em um ambiente 100% natural e não conhece nenhuma técnica, alguém o coloca em um carro e dirige a 160 km por hora. Você teria medo? Portanto, quando você cresceu e seu pai dirigiu um carro, desde então, você teria medo? Tente, treine e passo a passo seus medos desaparecerão.
So then we are on the second question.
Okay, the second question will have to wait till next week. And we'll go on with our presentation now. And now we have some excerpts from the 575th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And I believe these were put together by Mark, if I'm not mistaken. And we have four excerpts today. Is it three?
I think the long one, Elizabeth wanted to just play half. I think there's one that's long. I'm not sure how she.
Yes, there's one that's 17 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps we'll play half this week. I think she suggested, and then the other half the following week, if we can recall.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, let's begin that. First one is pause we put out for ladies. Yes, could you, I just had it up here. Let me get it up again with the pause scans. We had a question about that. There it is. Now, the question was from Marinez. What is she says Trinity pause? Is there a Trinity pause, or is she talking about the Twinity?
It's a Trinity pause.
Okay, that would be this one. And she would like to know what that is, what it's good for.
This is this is built and made. Actually, what I taught in the first part sits partially in this system. Interaction of the field with the structure of the body of the man, fields, not with the physicality of the man. Pause we put out for ladies, and where does it come? When you come to a pause in the world, it comes when you stop your sexual behavior. The body suddenly gets certain hormones, and then from the doctor says your hormones has changed and you don't feel touching your partner. The intimacy is not important, sometimes regrettable. And this, as I said this morning, section, you have the hormones, then you get the emotion. And what does this do? It's, you put the pause on the emotion with your partner. That's what is called menopause. You pause it because hormone guy at the top has to start working something else out. So you have to deal with the bus, not with the car crash. You have to find where the brake is broken, and you keep on having accident. You don't just keep on repairing. And then you see the process over time. Change of fields, change of fields. And this is dealing with the fields of the creation, not the physicality of the creator. And that's what it is for. We had a testimonial from someone who used it, and it was very interesting. I was reading it, that my husband cannot believe I've changed. And he keeps on asking me why. I said, I've done nothing. It's just something to do with the Keshe Foundation, doesn't it? He says, I don't know. You have to decide. So you have to understand, we deal with the fields, not with the physicality. And the fields are masters. Physicality is a slave to the fields. Be it hormone, be it emotion, be it everything else. Remember, it's very simple. I explained this once before. You have to send the information from your brain, this energy, to your arm for your arm to move. Your arm doesn't move, it doesn't get the information from the brain through energy. And this is how the cycle of creation is. We use that energy, the information receives, and then the body reacts. All the gases we put out, I spend hours, days, nearly 2 months in assessing every aspect of one product in this Trinity sets before it goes out. Everything is calculated to what effect it has. If it doesn't, if you so don't see any change, I said it's called Trinity. Change the ratio of the 1 and 2 in the mixture you use. It'll hit you. It will interact with you. This is why it's in two combination. You have to find where to tune it to fit you. It's not just one is for the front, two for the back. If you don't feel, or even if you felt the change and it becomes steady, you start changing the ratios between back and the front and the back, and cover the whole spectrum. For example, if you have the soaps, different soaps have a different structural mixture. Use, even it's the same, not two are the same during the mass. Use one today or the other one tomorrow. When you use the headphones, the twin sets headphones, use one headset today, one headset tomorrow, use the other one for the other aspects. And we were asked if we can swap the Trinity sets, preferably not to, because they carry information. If you can use it for yourself, it's no problem. But the one you use for yourself, always keep to yourself. The one you give to the others, that's what you tell them. That carries energy from apple to orange and the rest of it. In a way, it's a training. In a way, shaping up the system. Any other question?
Okay, thank you. Okay, our next excerpt from the 575th Knowledge Seekers Workshop will be Transmutation Testimonial. And I'll play that now. Okay, thank you for that. There was one other testimonial having to do with the transmutation sessions. Do you want me to read that as well?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
But I think there's a name underneath of that. Take it out. Just read the text.
Okay, it's just initials, but I'll just
Yeah.
just never mind. Okay.
You want to put it up?
Yes. Let me get this. Here we go. So it starts out preparation for the test. It says, before the test, I followed the instructions and prepared 3 wired headphone sets. One set was placed on my ears, another held in my hands, and the third positioned on my forehead and the back of my head. I also ensured that the environment was quiet to allow for full concentration during the test. During the test, once the test began, I relaxed as usual and refrained from checking the chat room on my phone. During the session, I sensed stronger energy on my right side and felt a slight tingling sensation throughout my body. This tingling sensation is something I've experienced in the past, even without headphones, so I did not find it particularly unusual. Overall, the process was very calming, and I continued until I heard the notification that the session had concluded. Experiences after the test. In the 1 to 2 days following the test, I noticed that I completely forgot to eat, yet I did not feel hungry. On one particular day, I neither felt thirsty nor hungry at all. On December 24th, Christmas Eve, I had an extraordinary experience. I felt an overwhelming sense of contentment and inner peace, unlike anything I had ever experienced before. I had no appetite, and even when I went to the supermarket, I felt no desire to purchase anything. This inner joy and fulfillment were deeply moving, and I consider it a profound gift. I sincerely hope to share this feeling with others in the future. Other observations. In the days following the test, I noticed that upon waking, I would occasionally feel a strong sensation emanating from my chest. This feeling was very positive, though difficult to describe in words. It left me with a deep sense of peace and joy. This sensation didn't happen every day, but when it did, it was most noticeable during the moments when I was just waking up, in a state between sleep and wakefulness. I will continue to observe and reflect on this experience, hoping to understand it better.
Thank you very much. For those of you who come to the sessions of 14th of February, and those of you coming into February, March, and April, we'll send you an email prior. If you have ganses of zinc and CO2 and CH3 with their amino acid, try to fill a glass container. Don't use plastic. Use a glass bottle, small glass bottles, and put in each bottle the same amount. A third of each, a third of CO2, Zn and CH3. And if you have any amino acid of them, put it in them. And during the session, hold it in your hand. You can put them aside, don't hold them, and then hold them during the session and feel the difference. We transmit structures to our system through your headphones, which this will give you a totally new dimension of experience. You will understand once you go through the session why we do this. And then for the sessions coming after April, The sessions will have a material you have to purchase from the Keshe Foundation for it. And with this material, when you hold it in your left and the right hand, gives you the first phases of transmutation. As I said, with the group we tested last Saturday, we had to wait 2-3 hours. Even they didn't understand what's going on till what they said they felt afterwards. We have built most of you in the structure of your soul, knowing when they receive is correct, whatever, to the point that some of you are ready to go through that process. So we tested with you in this session, and in May, June, July session, we bring you that structure of the transmutation to see how you can do. It's a special material. In a way, those of you who bought the head units with the 2 sticks, you should be able to start testing those before June, July, when they start going out next month. Gives you the first phases of that is for your body. That the sessions will give you the thing. These materials which we'll send out for the session of May, June, July will become the backbone of, for example, you go to an office, you want to transmute, this is where you're going. It's preset to the point and dimension where you're going to go, which you decide through your emotion. So we're going through that part of the transmutation. This is why in our direction of the general report what's going to happen in 2025, we have allocated September, October for the transportation and transmutation for government. So we're preparing you that some of you will be learning in August, September, that we can demonstrate this to the world, that they can see how easily man can travel the span of the universe, most probably, without paying $5,000 first class. You travel plasma class and then it's free. Okay, these all the tools we put out has a purpose, and we are just getting there in time with it. If you have the love package of the soaps and you sit for the session on the 14th of February, wash your hand with it and sit and enjoy the ride. You will have an experience of lifetime. Any other question?
Okay, we have the next excerpt from last Knowledge Seekers workshop. It's called We Have Some Testimonials, and we'll play about half of this video. It's almost 20 minutes long, so we'll play the first part of it. And just let me get that lined up. And away we go. Well, that actually is, let me get my questions up here and YouTube.
We have some testimonials. We never usually bring out testimonials. These testimonials are about the products you buy and you bought. Our, what you call it, management wants this to be read because they say people have to know it's not just a product and what it does to people, these sessions and these products. And a lot of people don't go to the testimonials, but if you understand, I explain the reason sometimes behind these as we read it, because the thing has to be heard by people. It's not just a product. Would you like to read? Because they've sent it to you as much as I've received it.
Yes, let me get, I'll even put it up on the screen if I can here, just a minute. Be in small print, but I can read it. Maybe I can make it bigger even. Let's see.
There are no names mentioned, I think.
Just want to make sure.
You want to open it up?
Initials. Pardon me?
You want to open it up?
Make it bigger, you mean? Yeah, let me I'll select this part and we'll start with that. And let's make it, there we go.
Yep.
Okay, well, it starts out with a comment from MC of the USA who says, I have noticed that I eat less. I am more calm in whatever I am doing. Thank you. Then we have under Keshe Nutrigans. I have been drinking Nutrigans water for a few weeks now, and this has had significant consequences. It is becoming more and more common for me to be able to skip a meal without any problem. Whether it is morning, noon, or evening, it is not a problem. My stomach is calling for food, and sometimes I get a little headache. However, it remains at a pleasant level, and time passes without it becoming a problem, or that you suddenly can no longer do. That's from KB in Switzerland. And next we have KD from Germany, who says regarding the Trinity pause GANs, here's my weekly experience report with the Trinity pause GANs. Emotions are balancing, and I react quite calmly in challenging situations. I also notice that I have more energy and joy again. I continue to enjoy this beautiful energy that gently and lovingly calms my nervous system, especially in the upper back, shoulders, and solar plexus. When I travel with my soul, I get pictures of animals I've never seen before. I don't know which place it is, and I just let myself be guided. Thank you very much, and best regards. Again, that was KD from Germany. We have under the Keshe Plasma Care soap bars for kids, the kids soap. Start of use was in December 21st of 2024. And kids soap, first use under the shower. I heard joy and much laughing. She feels that she has another access to the English language. She understands much more. Seems like a surprising result from soap. The laughter you could kind of expect, but she feels she has another access to the English language. She understands much more. Lovely. And a second plasma care soap bar testimonial on the regular soap. Plasma care soap first used also in the shower, 20 minutes after it, by driving to school, a feeling of happiness, in a mood of uplifting, found no translation for it, and I began to sing. When I picked her up, I laughed the whole way. I sang funny, spontaneous songs. It was very infectious. I observed her. She was smiling all the way, too. Resume or resume, I'm not sure what she means. First touch with this soap makes everything, all souls, happy. We use it daily for face, hands, under the armpits, and by need to take a shower or a bath. And I took it for cleaning the floors, some flakes of it mixed into the water, and cleaning windows, and I love to clean with it. The most amazing changes, emotional, physical, and on a soul level, came into my life. I am so happy and thankful by starting every day in such a relaxed and peaceful manner. The sun is back in my heart. I missed it since April 2024. My position is very clear. My trust into my soul is unlimited, and the experiences to tap into the fields are taking shape. Everything is coming together. The wishes from the past, success in changing something with the work on the soul level with my teeth, where I had some serious issues since August. Also, the emotion of the touch has changed to the cat or to myself or to the daughter. The view of my eyes is different, much more being in love with what is in front of my eyes. The interaction with the cat is different, the observation of it too. I am starting to act curious and open to spend time by doing it. The white of the eyes is much clearer. The stiffness in my fingers 2 days after using this soap is gone from gout side effects in the wintertime. The emotion is so strong by doing things, just like a kind of being in love with the things I do. It is like to look at the things and to realize what to add or what's the fact or what to ask or what's the need of. Simply to focus on that, what is my responsibility. When I give from the soul to one, I give to all who are in need. I kiss the sun, I kiss everything in between and above and among. I am thankful to all, not only one. The trust that everything is right at this moment manifests and shows itself in everything, or I am simply aware of it. For example, if I ask myself a question, how does the earth manage to get what it needs in winter without a rainbow? Because I never saw one, I see a rainbow the next day. So many great things have happened in the last few weeks. It's hard to put into words. And somehow it's just like this question and the rainbow. It goes on happily. It's like I'm finding the way, even if I don't consciously know it, because my intention is for the good of all souls involved. Thank you, Keshe Foundation, and all souls in existence for everything. KM Switzerland. Well, that was a very detailed and wonderful testimonial. What do you think, Mr. Keshe?
Yes, there's a testimonial from we got to understand the reason. The reason for it is in the mixture of the gases we put in these materials.
And for the rest of the reasons, we'll have to wait till next week. Stefania had a hand up here. I'm not sure if she would like to say something. Or... Oh,
No,
the hand.
it was a mistake, sorry. But I think it's
Okay.
a great idea to share the testimonial of the product. Fantastic.
And let me see. Is that her? Thought there was one other video, but I think that's... just go through it. We have the pause, we have Transmutation, and we have some testimonials. Okay, I think it's just those three. We could go back to our presentation now.
Thank you, my dear.
Go ahead, Sweta.
Thank you so much. And I want to say that as Moshfik always starts, but this time the beauty is, and thank you so much, my dear Mark, for giving these videos, beautiful testimonials, beautifully explained, and gifts for the women is outstanding. So it's very beautiful to receive these gifts. Really, thank you. And about transmutation, I have experienced, when in the last Keshe Foundation public teaching of Bangla language public workshop, Moshfik was teaching about the layers in the energetical layers in the brain, in the head, around the soul, in the center of the head. Well, I will say in the middle of the brain, and how the feels when we soulfully or energetically we clarify our own self to understand these layers one by emotional, I will say. Then sometimes if you want to focus on the hands, fingers, legs, any part of your body, so you can have this all together in your brain. So when usually that is it, you can go through dimensions in your brain in all energy levels. There is all energy bodies if you access, if you understand. So he was explaining these levels of emotion that can have an effect on your hand, and this is our ability to understand. So he was explaining the levels with colors, with different colors like blue, orange, and even, well, orange, and in the middle, what in the middle there's a space, white space, and then there's a dot, and then suddenly he draws an energy level of soul with a violet color, and that was the ultimate thing I experienced when we say as Keshe Foundation, where science meets the soul. I was doing some months for some months. I was doing a pineal gland activation. Everybody does that. Do these type of things, and I do also meditate, kind of, to activate my pineal gland. Like, how can we do that? There is a group called Sisterhood of Rose. They have given this meditation. So I am so thankful to them. Gift for humanity. So I will that meditation I will do, and what we used to see in the last moment of this meditation is there in the center of the brain. There you can feel. You have to visualize the light, the light of enlightenment, the light, white and mixed with the violet color, and that was really, I was experiencing things, when I do this vision of white light, and it changes into a pink light, pink light, and and we have this, and the soul expands with this pink light, with this love. And when Moshik was drawing, I was realizing that this is the color. How can it is not a coincidence? Because that was beautiful. You know, the experience was beautiful that he was drawing this white with the violet, and it's turning inside me into pink. So beautiful, beautiful pink color, Moshik. I will say that that was the experience that I understood. Maybe I was doing the meditation of the violet color and the white light in the pineal gland or the soul. But I now, in this clarity, I understood the level of emotion I was crossing. Maybe I was not able to cross then. Now I understand how to uh, manifest these energy levels in our my brain, in our my head. I will say that would work with my heart, with my whole body system, my energy bodies and me, my body. So that is the beauty. And when we say science meet the soul in Keshe Foundation, beautiful, beautiful. What can I say? That was an extreme joy. I mean, a meditation relating all the teachings, and that is the way we always experience in many, many teachings and our beautiful teachers. I'm so grateful, so grateful. What I can say, if we say something in words, it doesn't work so much, but here from the heart, I'm so grateful that we have experienced these teachings outstanding in Keshe Foundation, of course. And I will say all to join, all beautiful souls. Have your experience, be in this meditation always and experience the level changing, experience you working perfectly, I will say, in a way, balanced way with your, when we understand there is no such thing as disease, then it works. The meditative mind and the scientific realm. So this is what I experienced in that teaching when Moshik was teaching. I'm so, goosebumps. And thank you, Moshik. Thank you so much. Always you teach. Always I have so much experience. What can I say about it? Thank you. I'm so proud of being part of the teaching. Thank you, my dear Moshik. Thank you so much.
Okay, so this is Mosvik, but she's thanking me, but I should rather thank her. I drew the color, but she was thinking about it. So it's nothing my doing, it's her doing, but it manifested on my side. So this is the what do you call it, the situation. So I'm not sure why she's thanking me, but anyway, she guided in a way the whole process. So,
but but Moshik, I felt the real experience of a meditation. Oh, yes, of course. Thank you.
So anyway, what I will do is I'm going to share this screen that I drew that day. It's a version of it, not quite the same, but I'll get to it as I did a little more in a slightly different way than the teaching I did in the Bengali teaching workshop. So let me just go ahead and share the screen right now, and then we will see where we go from there. So can you see my screen? It's coming. Okay. It's visible, I hope. Okay. So anyway, so this is essentially the same diagram that Mr. Keshe did, but I did it in whatever color that came to my mind. And as you know, towards the, we started from the physical side, and these three lines are connected to the three layers of the skin. I didn't draw the rest of it. And then we have the emotion, the hormonal level, and then the thyroid level, and then aspect of soul of physicality, which is in blue. Now, the color that Shweta was referring to is that I drew the soul in pink, and then the interaction between the soul of physicality and soul of man, I drew it in purple, and this purple and white circle. So, and this is what came from Shweta. And so it's not, the main thing here is that it was a communication that was happening. Yes, I drew it and I was explaining the thing and all that, but in the end, when we go into meditation, what happens? We have this calmer mind and we are receptive to signals. Often we dismiss them as coincidence or something, some mundane things, but the amount of information we receive can be quite large, and and we don't often acknowledge this, but people, like, one of the examples of this has been from the past. Some of the historians in scientific world, science historians, they have talked about, at a certain point in human history, there would be multiple people doing the same invention in different parts of the world. There was a communication network that forms when people tend to think in a similar direction. So we can tap into this kind of things. And we don't have to read material or even listen to people talking about certain knowledge and things. We can tap into these things when we need to. And we tap into it based on our need, which we as creator can create ourselves. So this is something we have to get used to, is that what Mr. Keshe often refers to as direct communication with the creator. That part, we have direct access to all the information. We don't have sufficient trust in us to ask for it. There has been what do you call it? A notion of me asking for such big things, and it's impossible. I can't do it. Often we, in some of the religious context, some of the sort of like religious teachers, those who are not well aware of things, they make it sound like this is humility. It is not. It is a symptom of lack of trust. Trust in the creator within us. So this is an important thing, that we can trust in achieving any type of communication. And we don't have to hear it from anybody. And here I would even include Mr. Keshe. Yes, he is providing us with a lot of useful information, and this gives us a useful context to develop this trust. But in the end, the trust is what matters. So the whole knowledge is accessible. And in a way, I mean, whether we are in a position to use it is up to us. And in the end, it has to be for the service of others. And that's where the humility comes. The more I am able to trust, the better I'm able to serve. That's the part where the humility comes in the service of others. Respecting their position, their understanding, and serve them in the way that suits the need of the others. So let's get back to this picture. Speaking of serving the others, soul has it. Whatever that is needed. This is a reflection of, or the image of the Creator. And with a direct connection to the Creator, through the hydrogen line. I mean, I've talked about this before, and we have heard this many times too. Now, in this diagram, we have various layers of fields. I'm not going to go into detail. It's there in Mr. Keshe's teaching. So, what I would like to emphasize is that, Mr. Keshe talked about, how the fields of emotion that accumulates in the heart can cause all sorts of problem in terms of, the energy traversing the brain and affecting the blood vessels and changing the pressure of the blood vessels and so forth to cause damages to various parts of the brain. So this happens because of the emotions that are generated, which in turn affects the operation of the heart. Now, what I will now do is that, we have all these areas, physical areas of heart, the brain, that are shown here, the two hemispheres. Now, we have the position of the soul, which is the pink circle in this middle, you see, below the hemispheres. Now, is it possible for us to set up protection within our brain using our soul? This is a full reactor with all the fields necessary. All we have to do is create a shield. So if I'll add something to this diagram right now, and let's see whether we can develop a little more understanding about how we might use our soul. So this is the soul is the pink part, and then we want to create a shielding. So let's see, we are creating a shielding such that I'm going to change the size of it, the position of it. So think of this purple. I'm going to change the transparency of it a little more. Let's change it to color so that it doesn't clash with any of the other ones. So this cyan color that I've drawn is the shielding that would protect the rest of the areas of the brain if there is a field that comes. and tries to hit it. So here I will do something. There's another part of the diagram that I drew, which I kind of have put it on the side right now, but I'll bring it. It's the heart. I drew the heart and its effect on the various parts of the brain. Now, if we have shielding, like the cyan color shielding that I showed, and the shielding is such that it's above the fields, it's such that it will prevent these arrows to hit the brain. In that way, we can stop these fields from affecting the inside of our physicality, which is our brain. So it's the same idea of shielding of a spaceship. Now, I'll take this away, and now how do we generate this shielding? So let's go into that again. So now the soul has, in this part, the cyan field is coming out of the soul to create the shielding. Now, how do we do this shielding? As I said before, we just have to ask for it. Do we need anything more? It's there within us. We ask for it, it is there. And we are protected. Not just from the fields of the heart. And I'll bring up a movie like in Matrix, you saw this, bullets coming to the hero, and he puts out his hands and there's a field around him and they just hit the barrier and it falls down. So this protection field not only is there for the internal protection, but we can actually extend it beyond and prevent things physical from affecting us. Once again, we just have to wish for it. And the prerequisite for that wish is the trust. The trust in the creative capacity that we possess, all of us. And all of us have the opportunity and the privilege to make this happen. I hope this helps everybody a little bit. At least gives a pointer to where we can possibly go. Thank you very much. And if you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you. Once again.
Thank you again, my dear Bashki. No question. Thank you.
Okay, in that case, I will stop sharing, and Rick, you can go back to the original background.
Mosfeq, is Dean here? May I just quickly? I haven't got a question as such, Mosfeq, but as you were teaching, a beautiful teaching, thank you. I suddenly looked around my environment, and I looked straight at Mr. Keshe's 3 books, and I don't know why, but I went to this the middle one, which is the structure of the light, and then I just opened the book, and I just let it just open, and I came to a passage in I think it's on page 36. It says the invisibility of the travel path of the ray of light through the space is in fact due to its ability to change its outer layers according to the environment that it travels through. So we could say with your teaching that we are traveling through multiple dimensions in the form of a physical body and the brain, as you were showing there, and that plasmatic condition of being able to accept and understand that we are traveling through space in this very moment, that we are in a physical form within a sphere that is traveling at vast speeds through a huger totality. And we're in a body, in a position, time, place, and position, receiving knowledge, receiving a teaching about shielding a spaceship. And we're in fact on a spaceship right now. And we have another spaceship that is the physicality and the dimension of the, you know, the form that we have and the thoughts that we possess, that is part of this living being, this living ship. And when we start to understand and open up our view of our understanding, instead of just concentrating on one aspect, because wherever we put our viewpoint, we can put it into a position of, you know, what's going on in the world right now, and we can focus it down and watch a TV screen or listen to a social media report, and it really focuses your thought pattern. It takes you to a position. And what is a transmutation? What is it? What is it really? If you put yourself in a position of let's say your biggest lesson, which would have been a time, place, and position in your life where you went through a very traumatic experience, and think of the emotions that interacted with you. And the moment you think about it, think of that transmutation you make the moment you think it. You're suddenly there, or you're in another position where you block it. So, there's many places that you can travel to. It's just dependent upon your viewpoint. And the shielding that we create, that MOSFET was, from my understanding, what was speaking about, we can create with a thought, with our intentions. And then we can transfer that thought to another position. You know, when you have a happy thought and maybe you're in a wonderful position and everything just happens beautifully, and then a creature or something comes into your environment. So think of that creature or that soul that's present, and then project yourself to that position. Did you create that being, that soul? Did you protect yourself, or did you allow that interaction to happen? Because it's all interactions, fields of interactions. And MOSFET very beautifully was showing those interaction of the fields within the environment of a dome, the brain of the skull, and then the interaction of the fields as we ripple this effect out. And then we start creating. And then we start to understand this transmutation, whether it's in this very moment right now, as I speak these words, or whether it's as you let yourself drift off into something that you're thinking about, but you're there, you're in that reality. You're in that soul aspect of a state of being as a physical being, but then your mind, you know, this matter state condition of the brain, which is solid, which is a mass, but the emotion, the interaction of the thought, is the plasmatic condition of emotion, emotion in motion, that aspect of the soul aspect. And that is what all the Universal Council and everything that's been taught is connecting with. And when we allow ourselves to connect, whether it's at 9 o'clock, as Universal Council does every evening, or whether you just do it in one moment, but you can project yourself into a position with your soul and bring the light, bring the happiness, bring the beauty to wherever you put yourself in a position. And the choice, the freedom of choice is yours. And the only thing that can stop it is a fear of something or another. So if you take the fear away and put yourself into a position or wherever it is, you transmute and transform the transmutation of the process to wherever you want to be. And we are unlimited as souls, each and every one of us. We all have the capability to position ourselves wherever we wish. Where do you wish to be? What do you wish to see? Do you want to be focused on something that is given to you, is outside of you? Or do you want to focus on creating with inside yourself and then shielding that emotion, or allowing that emotion to feed the others, to give to them so that they receive the beauty of the intention? And we all have a choice in this very moment. Sorry, Mosfeq, that sort of went off. It went off into a different transmutation direction, but that's what it sort of brought up, the feelings from your teaching. And it sort of took me to a position of another understanding. The teachings, as you know, through Mr. Keshe, as you explained, Mosfeq, are very deep and profound, and you can go in and you can go down and reveal many things to yourself. But when you open yourself up to these teachings, and you actually you don't think, you just let it come to you. This is the creation. This is that part of us that is part of everything. And then when we start to understand that and we let that go, then you get this group knowledge, you know, where, as Mosfeq was speaking about, where one person thinks of something, you have an idea, and then another person the other side of the world has exactly the same idea at the same time. And then it suddenly gets transformed and transmuted into physical matter. And you see it, you think, wow, I had that thought a little while ago. And that's because we all are connected, interconnected, and as one. And when you start to grab into that consciousness of those fields, you start to interact in a different way. And the more you do this, the more the universe will give you informations to elevate and to enhance your experience. So it's your choice how you transmute and where you transmute to. You do it every evening when you sleep, but you have the possibility to do it in this very moment. And you can be at any place, time, and position in in your experiences, or what you don't know. Maybe once you open yourself up as a soul into the aspects of things that you don't actually know, but then you free yourself, you become that free bird, and you can enjoy this transmutation experience. So thank you, Mosfeq. Sorry, I went on a little bit there, but I don't know if you want to come back on any of that.
Well, you know, the thing is that, you know, the interesting thing that you bring in, I mean, it's all relevant. And you said, you know, as you were listening to it, you pick the book, The Structure of Light, out of your shelf and open to page 36. That's what you said, right?
That's correct, Mosfeq. Yeah.
The structure of light. So we, although we are in physical presence on this planet, and we know about the particle light duality of anything, so we as a physical being also have a light duality. So that's the structure. So that's where structure of light comes. We as physical being has a light aspect. Perhaps this is what is meant by angelic quality in human being. But this light aspect is what Dean was talking about. And he grabbed the book, and it's Structure of Light. And so this is what was so interesting, that, I mean, I was talking, yes, about fields of protection of physicality through fields. But, and as the physicality engages with the fields, there is light. And that's the beautiful thing that Dean brought into the whole discussion. So I really like that. And beyond that, the page number 36, which is 9. And when you take 9 and add the 1 of the creator, it becomes 10, which is 1 again. So with 9 and 1, you are 1 again. So this oneness is also in the numbers, coincidentally. I don't know why, but it just came to my mind, and I just was mentioning it, the page number. And the book itself, the whole thing kind of like is all fit together. Is it a coincidence? There is no coincidence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mosfet. Nothing is by chance. And when you were teaching and you were changing the colors, I noticed that your thoughts or your soul led you to certain colors, and then you wanted to put a transparency on it. You wanted to make it a transparent color, so that we know through the teachings that we become transparent the more that we give and the more that others receive from the soul of the teaching, of the knowledge of Mr. Keshe in the universe. And humanity and all the souls created are receiving the knowledge bit by bit, drip by drip. And we have beautiful teachers like yourself and Jalal and Alex and Mark and Rick and many others that teach this beauty all the time. And they are creating so many wonderful interactions on planet Earth that the fields, the field interaction, that magnetic gravitational interaction is creating another dynamic, another field. And then you add the core team, you add the Universal Council, the Earth Council together, and the souls present with the knowledge seekers, and every single one of us is a knowledge seeker because we are present on this spaceship called Earth that is traveling through a space of gigantic proportions. But the soul in the physical body is in a small form physically. But when you actually open that up from from one atom to a universe, you suddenly realize the conscious thought, the beauty of the soul, is the totality of all of it. And then it's coming back down to a matter condition that we have to squeeze into to limit ourselves. So open yourself up to all the knowledge of the universe. So I think that's thank you for that teaching, Mosfet. It was very beautiful. Thank you. Wonderful stuff.
Thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you indeed. Thank you, Moshe. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Salam, namaste, Sashwat Pranam to the beautiful, beautiful teachers who teaches us the totality. Thank you. Thank you so much. Rick, maybe we skip this today. We can go to the next slide. We can continue it in the next One Planet, One Week. Yes. We can go to the needs. Yes. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Needs and wishes. Beautiful souls. Thank you for always being here. And if there is any wish, anything to share, any heart and soul sharing, please do. We, the Universal Council, give from our soul to total peace to the Middle East. Thank you. And you are so much welcome to ask questions, and we are all knowledge seekers. We are all learning. Thank you. Welcome, welcome.
Sweta, it's Dean here again. I usually say something here. I'm sure other people would like to say something too. But so we, the Universal Council, give from our soul for total peace to the Middle East. And we all wish for this. And we all know that in this moment, as the wish is formulated and spoken and delivered by the souls, and the soul of the Universal Council makes this wish, that it becomes so. It's part of the process. We all, as one beautiful soul of humanity, know that in this moment that we are the peace completely. totally. And there's no hiding from the soul. It's not something that you can't say something and then have the body, the physical side of you, do something completely different, and then expect the soul not to readdress and balance the interaction. What does this mean? So if you were a leader and you say something and you affect all the souls in your nation and maybe across the planet, and then behind the scenes, the physicality and the structures are doing something different. This is not what the soul does. This is out of line with the beauty of the totality of the knowledge. And yes, you have total access to do as you wish. But once you become a soul that actually understands the beauty of the knowledge, you just give so that you help others in totality. And you create conditions no matter what to bring a balanced condition to give to the other souls. And the dealings and the beauty of the soul, as I said, cannot be transmuted away. You cannot hide from it. There's always a balanced position. There's no judgment. However, there's always going to be a time, place, and position where it has to be readdressed, balanced. And Mr. Keshe always says that when you transmute through, when you take a time, place, and position, then the judgment of man is before your own soul. And for many, this will be a very difficult position to be in, because if that judgment before yourself and you see what you've done or haven't done, you just want to give more when you suddenly understand, because we are timeless and we are an energy that is here to, as the foundation's ethos, is to serve the others. And that's each and every one of us when we understand this. And then we, as the Universal Council, as the Earth Council, as the core team, as humanity, as knowledge seekers, whatever name we want to put on it, as the soul for the total peace. And yes, we wish for this in the Middle East, but we wish for this within the soul of the totality of all of us, which is our responsibility to ourselves and to the others to establish this connection. And whether you do it in this moment or at 9 o'clock or whenever you decide to do it, but just spare a transmutation moment to wish and give to others, create a condition, and bring this this peaceful conclusion, within in this moment. Yeah. Funny enough, I got this little couple of souls that always come and see me, two little dogs that always come and see me at a specific time. They always, it's funny how their soul it's very attracted in the moment to come in when we speak in the Universal Council. So I know the needs and the wishes of the souls of the animals. There's no one's higher, no one's lower. Feel this. The soul of them knows this transition period, this moment is very precious, and is a gift to be present in, whether it's in an energy pack as a soul or whether it's in the physicality. But we can all create this condition from our soul when we give from our soul for the total peace, and in this instance, in this moment, to the Middle East. And I know the Universal Council and all the knowledge seekers are present with this wish. Thank you, Sweta. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Dean. How beautifully you said. Thank you so, so much, my dear. Thank you for all the love you have for all souls in existence. Thank you so much. Rick, anybody wants to share anything? If there is anybody, any beautiful soul?
Let me see. We have Wawuru, who was here last week, who says, "I'm grateful for another opportunity to be with your energy." We have a hello from Eugene, Oregon, from Stephen, and a hello from Austin, Texas, from Mahmoud. And we have a question from Tender regarding the teaching from Moshfaq. And the question is the shielding, quote, know thyself to know the others? So is the shielding know thyself to know the others?
The shielding, in a way, you can phrase it like that. The knowing the others means that if one is aware of existence of certain fields and one needs some protection from it, then one can set up the field necessary for the protection. So it's more like knowing the environment that we are operating in. We have certain fields. Our physicality is a collection of certain fields. Now, if we are using these fields in an environment where the environment is not conducive to it, then knowing the environment and acting accordingly to protect this collection of fields is what shielding is all about. So yes, what you said in a way can be looked at in a similar vein as I'm describing right now. So I hope that makes some sense to not just you, but others. Anyone else wants to add something to it?
Thank you, Moshfik. I also want to add to you and to our lovely guest, Tender, that when we talk about protection, like from within, from outside, and we do it all the time in physicality and bring in the home, that we protect ourselves in our way. Some have dogs, some have these gates built in extremely another type of gates with thorns type of iron rods and many others, even a security guard. And it is the homeowners in a intention to protect the house, and he had this guard and all, and it expresses that he wants to protect. And then it comes in reality that people see that there is a thorn type of things on the gate, and there is a strong build with a gun security guard and 3 dogs. Oh my God, how can we? So they will know, kind of that. When we do it in physicality, we easily understood. But when we are aware of this from inside, from within, from the I am, then we understand how to create this balance and to increase and to enhance this ability of protection. Any color you can choose. As you choose a security guard, kind of that, and a soul listens to you if you have this intention to protect. This is the times of it, when you manifest it, like when you bring a home, like your security. This is the security the soul gives you. If you trust the soul, if you believe, if you know how to create the balance, ask for it, you will get, my dear Tender. We are all experiencing this, kind of, we are all going through this. We are learning, we are having many experiences in the teaching at Moshfaq today, in teaching of my Master Shriman Mehran ji, AM Keshe, beautiful teacher. And so much, so much, what I can say, so much he has done for humanity. He is doing still long time. But now we know how to protect ourselves, my dear Tender. do have an intention. Thank you. Thank you. And hello to every beautiful souls attending. Hello. And all the love always. Thank you for giving all the love to us. Thank you so much. Rick, if there is any sharing anymore, anybody has shared anything?
That's all I have at this end. Let me just double check on our chat here. Mark mentions the ethos of Mithra is another shielding we can all do. The idea of thinking, speaking, and acting good provides a type of protection. Okay, thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. So beautiful. Thank you. Indeed, indeed. Thank you, my dear.
It's Dean again here. So there's I've just noticed there's like a transcript of the 575th Knowledge Seekers Workshop from last week. And I just, again, the same principle, I just flicking through, and then I've just suddenly realized that on the screen I have in front of me, I can read a little bit of it. And it makes me realize that the blood that circulates around, the hemoglobin that circulates around our physical form, that gives us our, a condition of being present. How it is a direct connection to releasing the soul. And Mr. Keshe has put some words here. He was speaking in the teaching that says they come from energy. So I'm taking a part of the teaching and using it. Again, this is just on a soul level. So if it comes across in the right way, hopefully it will. They come from the energy, not from the matter. So does our blood fit A, O, B, and C? And in the blood, which we gave to the FDA of Ghana, they tested the blood. They said it fits everyone, every blood type. This is a solution to all the diseases. And this is what will come out in 2025 as part of the structure of the release of technology. And then he says, there is a saying in the world of boxing. They say, you punch drunk your opponent. You throw so many punches to the head that he doesn't know where he is. 2025, we punch drunk the man with the science and technological and systems. Does not know which way he come. Therefore, he'll forget about the wars and everything else. How long it'll take to keep him busy till he comes, and where and when, that's the thing. It's a different thing. We'll take him to space. And this blood type is one of them. When I created the blood, this was the whole main objective. When the FDA officers tested it, they were just baffled by how this does work. O, A, B, C. Whatever you've got it, you work for it. Any other questions? That's what Mr. Keshe said. So it's funny how that particular thing was on the screen. Whether it has any meaning in the moment, I don't know. But I do know that this connection with all the diseases on earth, the blood, the needs and wishes, which is written in red, and we, the Universal Council, give from our soul for the total peace to the Middle East. And we are present.
We are present, my dear. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
Now we can move to the next presentation. Here is another wish, I think. I will read the wish. We, the Universal Council, wish that all actors involved in the armed conflict within Colombia elevate their souls to reach definitive peaceful solutions for the benefit of all affected beings. We are present. Right, now can we move to the next slide? Presentation. Here is the intention. We are here to serve, not to be served. Dear beautiful soul, so much kindness from you comes, and this is universal. And I again welcome you to Swagatam into the beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome to the beauty and totality of welcome to the beauty and totality of Keshe Foundation Spaceship organization, universal souls and all souls in existence, my beautiful souls, my dear beautiful souls. And follow, jump in, hug, love Keshe Foundation. And this is what our heart and soul is. As a being, universal, we are the Universal Council. Thank you so much, and salam, namaste, salute.
Bear with me a second here while I find my present. There we go. Great. Thank you, Sweta. And of course, thanks to all of the members and support members of the Universal Council for their presentation today. Another lovely show, number 364 in a continuing weekly series of the One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. Today, here on Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. And our next public teaching workshop will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, and that starts at the 7 a.m. Central European Time on Wednesday, February 5th, and that's the same as 10 p.m. Pacific Time today on Tuesday, February 4th, in my local time. So if you're somewhere in that time frame, you might like to attend. If you're a newcomer or an old-timer with the plasma technology, you might have questions or things you'd like to show. That's a good place to be able to do that. Now, I think we're ready. Oh, also, I'd like to mention about the testimonials meeting coming up. You get the date on that. Be Monday. That's Monday, February 10th. And that's the public meeting for testimonials. If you have anything you'd like to share with the world about your plasma experiences, that's the perfect place to do that. And that starts at the 8 p.m. Central European Time, again on Monday the 10th. All right, I think that's it. I think we have something special as an ending today, Shweta. Something different to dance to.
Yeah.
And
well, I will say that this is the testimonial for love, how to love, how to dance. And please do dance. Dance is the way of pure heart. I will say, la 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 la. This is the music of dance. Thank you, my dear beautiful souls. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy.
Okay, this particular music and dance will be from an excerpt from the Knowledge of the Universe Knowledge Seekers Workshop 575 from Ed Weatherall, who's put this together recently. And this is the beginning of that YouTube show, that YouTube video that he has done. And that's what we'll use to go out with today. Okay, thank you everybody for being here, and we'll see you in the next public teaching workshop. Bye for now.
Yes, good morning.